So last week we told you guys what we thought would happen on the charts, and price went as we expected. So now this week we're going to be looking at the charts again, and we're going to be letting you guys know what you should be expecting on the charts. All right. So looking at the charts, let's start from the weekly. Looking at the weekly charts, right? We can see. Let me expand this better. First of all, no doubt that we are still on a buy trend, right? We're still moving up. So gold price is still very much bullish, right? But when you go to the monthly, when you go over to the monthly, you will see these two previous months rejections, right? So there is a likely possibility, or there's a probability for price there's a probability for price to give us a rejection somewhere around the zone. All right, so price could push up because we still have about 2 more weeks remaining in this month, the month of January. So price could push up, and then all of a sudden we could now see price tanking. That could happen, but we also still need to take into consideration that prices are still very much bullish. So price could also as well push up. All right, so we just need to be prepared for whatever price is about to do. But most importantly, we're just going to go with the movement of price. So whatever we see price giving to us is what we'll take, right? So if price presents to us a good buying opportunity, we'll go in on the buy. And if price presents to us a good selling opportunity, we'll go in on the sells, right? Because we don't decide what the price is going to do. What we do is we use the information given to us on the charts to probabilities of what could happen, right? And when all the setups, when we have a good A plus setup, right, and then what we do is we jump on that setup and we enter or execute the trade. So guys, don't forget to subscribe, follow, and like this video so more people like you could find this. That's one of the ways you get to support us on this channel as we're giving all this free content, right? So guys, subscribe, like, and share with other people. Let's get back into it, guys. So now, looking at the weekly, like I said, I told you last week the price would most likely come back down to around this 50% level of the previous week, which was somewhere around this 2655 area, right? And price came down to that zone, exactly the point where I said price came down to it, and price bounced off from there, and from somewhere around here we saw an entry which we took and we rode it up, right? And then I told you guys that once price gets to this particular zone, which was about the tip of this particular uh, should I call this a bearish doji or what, right? When price got to this particular tip here, price now began to give us the rejection, which I told you guys, if you go watch the previous video, you'll see I talked about it. I said price might give us a rejection around the zone, and now we're beginning to see the rejection, right? So what would happen this new week that we're entering? That's the question. What's going to happen in this new week? Now this is what I think could happen, right? Since we're still on a very strong bullish trend, and even though we know that there's a possibility for a bearish move from around this whole zone, we're still going to be mostly looking for buying opportunities, right? But we have to still be very, very careful on the buys. We're not just going to take careless trades. We have to be very smart about it. So what we're going to be looking for now is for price to come back down to about the same 50% of the previous week's candle, right? Or even a little bit lower. And then we might see a rejection for a buy around that zone. So we'll be looking for buys around 2685 level, or 80, 87, 88, 89 level. We'll be looking for buys around that point, or probably as low as 2670, right? So from there we'll be looking for buys from those 2 points. And if price just chooses to just go up straight up, then we might be looking for sells around this 2700, 2710, right? 2700, 27, no, what did I say? We'll be looking for buy sales around 2725, right? We'll be looking for sales around 2725 or 2730, right? Around those zones we'll be looking for sales. But that's what we're just going to be looking out for now. Let's go to a lower time frame. Let's go to the daily, so we can see things a whole lot more clearer. Now, looking at the daily charts, we can clearly see that price has been consolidating, moving sideways, right? But it's still on a strong bullish trend. But price has been consolidating sideways. So what do we expect? We said we're expecting price to come back down to, let's within market. Let's market. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back to the weekly. So I'll mark that area for you, even though. So we're looking for price to come down to somewhere around here. All right. And we're looking for it to also come down somewhere around here. So let's go to the daily. So these are the areas we'll be looking for price to come down to. That zone. And that zone. Now, looking at the daily, right? We can also see, those of you who trade ICT and SMC and all that stuff, we can also see that this is there is a fair value gap around this place, right? There's a fair value gap around that place, and some might call this an order block or something, but there's a fair value gap around here, so it aligns quite well. So if price comes down, right, like I said, if price comes down to that point, we might be seeing a rejection. And once we see a good rejection, because we don't just get in on the trade, if we say, oh, price will come down, then we just jump in. No, we have to wait for confirmation entries, right? So if price comes down to these areas and then starts to give us the kind of rejection we need, we're going to go in on the buys, right? And we're going to ride the buys up to somewhere around this point. Okay, to somewhere around 2730 or even higher if possible, right? So then from there we might be looking for sales, or it might even keep going up and breaking higher, whichever one price wants to do. Like I said, we don't decide what price does, we just only follow the movement of price and we just go with the flow, right? So guys, this is what we're going to be looking for. We're going to be looking for buys around this zone. Let's go down to the 4-hour time frame. Now looking at the 4-hour, we're seeing the same thing, strong bullish push up, right? Price has not quite broken these previous highs here. This previous you see, we're seeing something like an equal high here. Price has not broken it, and price has not even swept it yet, right? So price might most likely go back up there. That's what I'm thinking. Price might most likely go back up there. So, but price will come back down to somewhere around this zone, right? And once we see the kind of rejection that we need from these zones, once we see that kind of rejection that we need, a good one, it might be from here, or it might be from here, or it might be in between. Once we see that presented to us, then we can now jump in on the trade. Once price comes down, gives us this good rejection around this zone, then we can get in on the trade, right? So that's what we're seeing on the 4-hour, and as you can see, it's a nice push-up, still nice push-ups. So now price might come down, and then we might see a push-up again, right? So let's see what happens now. Let's see how it goes. Let's go to the 1-hour time frame. So looking at the 1-hour, still seeing the same things. We're still seeing the same thing. Seeing the same thing. So price broke out from this high somewhere around here, right? So it would make sense, since price broke away from this point, somewhere around here, right? And this is a low here. Price will most likely come back down to sweep this low, right? So it will come into this point that we talked about. So price will come down here, and then from somewhere around here we can now start looking for our rejections. But if price is giving us the indication that price wants to tank, because like I said, anything can happen. If price gets here and then price starts to tank instead of going up, then we know that price wants to now tank and wants to go down. Then we'll look for our selling opportunities, right? So, but I I'm not sure price will just start to tank from there. If price wants to tank, price might tank from somewhere around, go up first and tank from somewhere around this zone, right? So, but if we see price tanking from here, then we know that okay, price wants to now go down, which that's not bad. It might give us some sort of a heads and shoulders pattern, right? If price does that, it might give us some sort of a heads and shoulders pattern. I think these lines are quite thick. I need to reduce them. So it might give us some sort of a heads and shoulders pattern like this. We might see something of that nature, right? So if we see that too, then that's not bad, right? That's not bad. Like I said, let me reduce the thickness of this. And the opacity. Okay, yeah, better that way. So guys, this is what we're going to be looking for, right? We're going to be looking for buys around this zone. So once price comes into 2688 level, 2688.85 level, right, we're going to be looking for buys around that zone. 88.85 level, we're going to be looking for buys around that zone, and we're going to ride it up and see how price goes. So that's that, guys. Hope this helps. So just make sure to be a part of our free Telegram group, right? We're gonna be posting some few things there as much as we can. Last week I was very busy, so I was not able to get online to share some things and all that. So, and also don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and follow us on TikTok too as well. All right, we're trying to see how we're going to do some better things, some more things this year for you guys. So guys, just support us by subscribing and following our channel. It's not easy coming up every time to share this our thoughts with you and our insights into the chart, into the markets for the coming week, or even daily, because I am looking forward to coming live and probably going live with you guys on a daily basis as much as I can. But it's not easy, and we've not gotten to the point where we can start going live, right? So guys, support our channels, let's get up and all that. So that's what we're going to be looking for on the charts this coming week. All right, that's what we're going to be looking for. We're going to be looking for buys around this zone, which looks really good. So guys, peace out. Have a wonderful day.